Live from the Injured on the Go Just Call Mo studio.
It's a blast!
It's Orlando's own Tom and Dan.
Welcome to A Corporate Time with Tom and Dan. I'm Tom.
I am Dan. We're live on Twitch and YouTube, and we'd love for you to come over, check out our podcast, hang out. The chat room's great. You can like, watch, and subscribe, all at tomanddan.com. Search on YouTube and Twitch, the name, at Tom and Dan Live.
If you're a BDM, you know this. You already got an invite to our BDM appreciation event happening on April 19th. And that's for you and a guest to come free to an event we throw for BDMs only. And
you've been working really hard on this. We have a great live band. Like, I'm not even just saying
Silver Linings.
Silver Linings Band is amazing. They take requests. They kind of blend all of the music together like a giant mixtape, and they are the ultimate party band. We've booked them before. They're fantastic. Our listeners love them.
Yeah.
And then we have a magic, whip, and illusion show by April Jennifer Choi, who is a professional magician and scientist, and she's going to whip things out of the air.
I paid the deposit yesterday,
I know.
so she's in.
It's awesome. It's so awesome.
DJ Sharp.
And she's easy on the eyes, if you know what I'm saying. She's like this hot scientist magician.
Yeah, a really cool venue, and so if you're not a BDM, you still have time to be invited.
Sign up.
Just sign up at tomanddan.com. We have a spectrum of different prices you can pay.
We should have done that.
That's kind of what it is.
Yeah,
It's a love meter.
But we should have said it was a spectrum.
Love spectrum.
Yeah, where are you on the spectrum? How gay for us are you? Kenzie.
Starting at $195, and then there's the $10.95ers, which I do look at you, as a more respect.
Every day before we leave.
And I will do more for you. When you're like, I'm a BDM, I'm like, all right. And then you say $10.95, I'm like, all right, what do you need?
Every afternoon.
I'll do anything for
Every
you.
afternoon before we leave, and it is the afternoon because we don't work that much, we check the 1095ers, and we go through and make sure you're all still there.
Yeah. And then we say your names.
And we say your names silently in our heads before we leave.
And then every new sign up, it pings us, and we're like, thank you very much for your service.
And
I salute you.
Yeah, thank you so much. Patriots. They're good Patriots.
Cadillac Pat's here. How you doing, Pat?
What's up, guys? How we going? How we doing?
Good to see you,
Good to see you.
Very fluorescent today.
Yeah. I got
something going on. What do you got? A job interview?
What's
going on?
No, just casual Thursday. You know what I mean? Or Friday, casual Friday.
Do you have on shorts? You don't. It is casual Thursday. Wear your shorts and sandals.
No, that's what I used to like.
You're all business
now.
No
He wears
cheat
marathons.
days. No cheat days now.
He runs marathons now.
Well, it's easier for me to put my same jeans and polo on. And by the way, this is the same ones I wore yesterday.
I do that too.
Discussing
Everybody does that.
I take my work clothes off. I put them on top of my dresser.
Yeah,
and then I put on tiny Dukes at home. Then I do and then every morning
you exercise. You do your
I put
Krav
back
Maga,
the
whatever.
the same. And Crystal even says like, "Don't they stink?" I'm like, "No. I just sit in the AC."
I don't stink. I mean, I just go run 10 miles, and then my pits are a goddamn sweat wasteland.
Speaking of work, Pat, let's talk.
Yeah.
Because I'm sure you've thought about this. Not to keep deep diving into your personal life.
Yeah, sure. Go ahead. Fire away.
Yeah. And
every time you come in here, it's just getting sadder and sadder. Right? Is that what you're saying?
No. Well, that's the job of bartender. Okay?
Yeah.
Now, I know.
I think it's a hard job. Because you got to be on.
Yeah, that's the hard part. It is hard, that part.
Now, how do you say on being this lonely and sad?
No.
I'm messing around.
No. Well, it is considered a young person's job, kind of.
Well, it depends where you're at.
I knew there was
really.
an insult hidden somewhere. I knew there was an insult hidden somewhere in there.
No,
this guy's good.
Pat still,
I hitched my wagon to this guy.
I'm not doing it
He
on
can
purpose.
creep an insult in there.
No, it's not even insulting. You're still a young person. You're still
dickhead.
You dress young, although in the 90s were a long time ago.
He dresses young. He dresses like my grandfather.
It'd be the equivalent of someone in the 90s dressing like they were in the 50s.
That's like saying
true.
Sir Mix-a-Lot is a young
God.
guy.
Yeah. Like you're dressed slick back hair.
Hey everybody, Kelly Slater's here. Kelly Slater's 65 years old. Oh look, it's Pam Anderson. She's 90.
You're dressed like John Travolta from Grease in the 90s. You're like, what the hell are you doing?
This is no different than my mom and dad going to a 50s party and my mom's got a poodle skirt on.
A sock hop. Anyway, sorry. This is not meant to insult you, but but have you thought of like how long can this bartender career go?
I mean, it can go
I'm
a while.
surprised you even called it a career. That's not what you're. This morning you were winging around the word job.
Now here's the thing I will say, because I know a lot of people in
everything is thing. This is all things. Here's the thing I'll say. Everything else was what?
I'm just talking out loud. So, because I know a lot of people in the service industry.
We do.
And I've talked to people that have worked their way up to GM.
Yeah.
Like my buddy Fernando. And his brother is a bartender out in Colorado. And Fernando's like, dude, my brother has the life. He works like 3 days a week at a super pack bar, and he makes cash money, which guess what? Uncle Sam ain't getting a piece of that. And then he makes a ton of money, a ton of freedom, and the job at this point is great, easy for him. He likes talking to people. He's got a lot of normal customers, and he's good at it. He's made friends with a lot of his customers. So at work, he has a good time. And he's like, and I'm stressed the F out, the general manager of a bunch of different restaurants.
Right.
He's like, he dreams about retiring and becoming a bartender. And he's like, I'd do that tomorrow.
Has he
like,
thought about it, or is he too far in?
Well,
sometimes you get too far in.
That's the thing.
Yeah.
And then he's like,
I was at Real Radio. I mean, I was too far into.
But you got out. Look at you. I mean,
barely.
Yeah,
Right?
to what? I was eating barbecue in the morning and doing nothing.
It was pretty easy.
What am I doing? I'm stressed out every day.
Pat, I could have taught you how to.
I dream about radio. I was like, I just searched fantasy football. I didn't even have to talk that much.
He's not wrong.
I didn't have to think.
I could teach you how to do it in 10 minutes. Like,
Wow.
honestly. Well, at least the technical aspect.
So anyways, so it's a lesson, and be careful what you wish for, because you start looking at jobs and like, you work your way up. You're like, oh, I'm going to work my way up the corporate ladder. And then you look back at your bartender job. You're like, I dream about doing that.
Yeah.
So
That's my dad with a manager job versus salesman. My dad made more money and had less stress as an over-the-road salesman. He had clientele. He had friends. He enjoyed doing it. It was just easier for him.
So why not make it a lifetime career? If you can do it?
exactly.
But
no different than a high-end waiter.
I imagine the owner doesn't want an old man bartender.
Oh,
too
really?
old.
Is that a thing?
Well, I mean,
Yeah,
you-
it depends.
can you age
Absolutely. Absolutely, you can age out.
Yeah,
That's why you got to go to
Is that
certain
why
places.
you dress super young? Is it you're paranoid of aging out? So you dress like a kid from the Burger King Kids Club? You literally dress like a child for the Burger King Kids Club.
But again, if you dress your grandpa like Kanicki or whatever, then it's just
I mean, it's like
grandpa
dressing
in a
LeBron
leather-
James up like an old man and making him dunk on everybody.
yeah. It's still, even if you dress young, you can't hide your old man
Do you
face.
feel young?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, I feel exactly like I did when I was 25, if you know what I mean.
Yeah.
Like,
Well, that's what my pop-up told me one
Yeah,
time. It
yeah.
scared the hell out of me. When he was like
Yeah.
85, and he's like, I don't feel 85. I feel young. I feel like your age. And I'm like, what? And he's like,
Delusional old man.
Yeah, I'm like, no, you feel like an old man, right? He's like, no, I don't. I feel my brain is young. And I'm like, oh my God.
And then he's like, help me, I'm trapped in here. Help, fleshy prison, help.
And then I'm like, oh my
And
God,
then he
that's my
laid on the
future.
concrete and he screamed fleshy prison 300 times until Tom put him in a home. That didn't happen.
So how does that work, Pat, where you think about, can I be a bartender forever?
yeah, I mean, I thought about it before, and I've approached like my mom over like the last couple of years, like wondering.
Hi, what are you drinking? Is that what you say to your mom? Is that how you do it?
No, I know what she drinks, so that's easy.
Okay,
that's
what's
easy.
your mom's poison?
Bud Light.
All right. Hey!
Aluminum can Bud Light.
How did she do during the Kid Rock era? During that Bud Light era, or did not affect her drinking?
No, I didn't.
Yeah,
no, Mom.
I'm like her. I don't put politics on my booze.
No.
I don't do that.
It's back now with Gillis and everything.
Oh, yeah, it's fine.
Yeah, it's back.
Absolutely fine.
Like put these.
They're gonna be fine.
Yeah. Post Malone, Gillis, they fixed it.
Put these fat white guys on, then the other fat white guys will be like, all right, it's better now. Sorry.
But no, I thought about it before, but there's no word. I mean, I do enjoy what I do. So if it comes to a point where, again, like Daniel said, like I work 4 days a week. I work like 32 hours a week.
You enjoy it.
I do enjoy. Like I don't regret going to work. I don't like dread going to work.
Yeah, and you like talking to people.
Yeah.
Like it's a perfect job.
And
for
I got
you.
tons of regulars, and I've like you said, I've made tons of legit friends that are friends of mine now from what I do. And you get favors. I'm sure in the radio business, same thing. Like
I know what that
I
means.
get favors like crazy from people that like just they want to be nice because I'm nice to them.
Yeah, that means
You
you,
know what I
take them
mean?
in the walk-in.
Yeah. Everybody likes favors.
Yeah. Get a favor in the walk-in cooler.
So what else have you been up to, Pat?
I was going to ask Daniel because he lives around here. I was here for the St. Patty's Day block party thing.
That's a good party.
It was too busy. I know that means I'm getting old because things are too busy for me now.
It's a tight space.
How do you deal with it living here? Do you hunker down, or is it like
No,
because you're outside of the? Because I thought it was going to be crazier getting in here.
I'm close to it. So, I mean, maybe
he was in a hospital bed, goddammit.
Were you? Were you then?
I was.
Okay.
But no, like around here, it's not that bad. The way that they shut it off, there are like exit streets that they leave open, and we have so many closures around here. Normally, it's for like the one that I hate is like Saturday morning. You stupid runners. With your stupid, 5Ks.
Oh, you
goddamn, you dumb runners and your stupid 5K. Everybody's out there dressed like a rubber duck. Running
stay inside
for
your
fun.
house.
They're all
I'm running by.
They're all running. They're all dressed like a rubber duck. They're like, we're doing this for cancer. I'm like, if I had cancer and saw you doing this, I'd spit on you from my balcony. Get the hell out of here with your stupid rubber duck costume.
I thought it was going to be
crazier.
crazier.
I'm dying.
When is that around here all the time? These
Every other weekend
Baldwin's.
they have like, they got like this challenge, that challenge.
Do they do block parties here quite a bit, like on the main drag?
Yeah, and especially with Tactical, great brewery.
Yeah, that's where I was.
Of the show.
I was there.
Yeah, and then they get the permit and they shut down the road and they have a good party. Yeah, they do it right.
I thought it was gonna be crazier, like to park. I was telling my buddy Frank, who I was with, I'm like, oh, dude, we're gonna park in front of Tom and Dan's studio. No one's gonna be there. He's like, we park at Publix. I'm like, there's no way we're even gonna get a spot in there. I thought it was gonna be chaotic, but Publix was completely fine. We just parked in there and walked straight through.
Yeah, and there are a bunch of parking lots around here, and it looks more packed than it actually is.
Not
because
really packed.
It's this is basically a small suburban community.
Yeah.
It's got one street of businesses.
Yeah,
and they just
you're right.
Shut that business street
You're
off,
right.
and that's how it is.
It's a tiny town.
It's not like that immersion or whatever the hell that downtown where it's like 20 blocks of stuff, and they bring thousands of people. Like, we're probably talking a couple hundred people.
Like, we got Avalon Park over by me over in Waterford. Avalon Park's like a giant Baldwin, but not as cool. Like, there's no community in Avalon. There's no, like, sense of, like, there's no, like, cool young people walking their dogs on the weekends. Like, Avalon Park is just, it's quadruple the size. So they do, like, a 4th of July thing, or I've tried to go over there. You can't even go over there because maybe there's so many more people over there in that area.
Gotcha.
But there's,
I wonder how people, like you mentioned community, and I think all humans like to be involved into a community, but it seems to have gone way more digital now, where your digital community,
your Facebook page for my neighborhood
is closer to you, or you're more active.
It's easier to be active.
Yeah, and it's also, you can curate it too. So it's not even like where you live. It's kind of like the BDM community, right? It's like like-minded people rather than your neighbors.
Yeah, you just happen to be neighbors.
Yeah, which is like, I have nothing in common with this person except for where I live.
Yeah.
So it's like I don't really feel a sense of community with them.
Well,
but
your
in my
neighborhood-
Facebook group, I'm a lot of commonalities between us.
I'm in a bunch of Facebook groups like that. It's fun to be in groups of people that are like-minded.
Well, like your neighborhood, though, can change just based on age, demographics, socioeconomically, right? Like, I remember when I lived off of Lee Road, which was like a rougher area.
Yeah, totally.
My neighbors were certainly more active and nicer. Like, the poorer I've been, I knew my neighbors more.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah, because
like when I was in an apartment in a rougher area, like living right off of Lee Road, not a good place to live, but I knew all my neighbors. We would swap things. We'd give each other you want a beer, or we'd knock on each other's door.
Because you're all in it together.
You're all in it together. Yeah.
And then the more rich you get, the more you're like looking out the window with your gun.
Yeah.
Because you're
It's
like,
true.
you're paranoid, and you're like, and you don't feel it as you're.
It steals some of that community that you're talking about.
Yeah,
Sure.
you become more separated because of your money, and you're not dependent on anybody.
Yeah.
And so
I
it's
liked
like,
it better.
I'll never need anything from my neighbor.
I liked it
because
better.
It
It was more fun when I remember when I accidentally set off an M8. Well, some listener had given me M80s, or like what looked like an M80. I didn't know what it was, but I set it off in my garage accidentally. What I mean by accidentally is I lit it. I just didn't think it would be quite that loud. I thought it would be like a firecracker.
Sure.
Man, this thing went off like a quarter stick of dynamite.
Yeah.
And it just set off car alarms and everything. And all of the neighbors kept like, "Oh, you okay?" All other stuff. Man, I could literally blow my brains out behind my house, and the body would lay there for days, and no one would care.
Yeah. Now there is a level of where and this happened to me when I lived in Heroin Alley, where my neighbor was this trucker who beat his wife. And we'd hear her beat
I know that guy.
Oh, yeah.
And then I was like, ugh, I don't want that.
Or they start borrowing too much. My mom and dad live in like a poor neighborhood, and their old neighbors would come and knock on the door borrowing money, and it became such a habit for a 20 every week for
That'll
20.
bum you out. That'll bum you out.
In Deltona, my neighbors had the Volusia County like drug squad tank pull up.
That's
and,
pretty cool.
And kick their door down and arrest a bunch of people
Wow.
that live there. And they were selling some sort of pills and crack out of there. Then the other house next door to us, they came in, like the fire department came in and started ripping out a bunch of burnt up like kitchen appliances.
In your house in Deltona?
Oh, yeah.
The house
There's-
that got scrapped for the AC and everything.
You gotta burn everything up.
Hey, well, yeah, it turns out they were cooking meth and they could burn the kitchen up in there. So there's that.
Has anybody?
Sometimes you get that.
There's
neighbor.
that.
Has
You can't
anybody
be too poor.
engineered a meth-proof kitchen that like this kitchen isn't made for meth?
There's gasoline involved and like flammable liquids.
No, they should. I'm just saying, has like a real meth head meant like this kitchen is meth proof. It won't blow up. It doesn't
There's
stain.
got to be some.
It looks good.
You got to get to Walter White status where
Yeah.
you actually have.
Let's
like,
take some calls.
Industrial equipment.
Yeah.
Yeah, but you're just trying to do it in your kitchen, like freestyle. It blew up.
Yeah.
Anyway, so Pat, I noticed that you brought in a giant piece of show and tell wrapped
With a dirty blanket on
and
it.
a Miami Dolphins old school logo blanket.
He loves to bring in his dirty blankets here to show us.
Yeah. So you got a.
I got some. But first,
Now,
go ahead.
every time you come in here, you say, "Today, guys, I brought in my most prized possession," and they keep going lower.
They keep going
Yeah,
down?
they keep going down and down. So what do we have today?
Well, first I got a gift, another gift.
All right, I won't be
All
mean
right,
this time.
but this is for you guys here. Look at
Okay.
it.
Oh, it's a Cadillac Pat coaster.
It's 3D printed.
Oh,
There
that's
you go.
fantastic.
Oh, you got a 3D printer. didn't
No,
you?
no, my regular. That's nice.
I like
Oh,
that.
this is one of the favors you got?
Yeah.
That's fantastic.
So it's a 3D printed coaster with it looks like a WWE wrestler.
It is a Cadillac. Is this your new logo?
No, it's the same one, just zoomed in.
I love that.
Yeah, so she made it for me. She made a bunch of them, giving them out to friends.
Yeah. Thank you. This is for me.
Yeah,
All right.
yeah.
I appreciate that. Put it right there.
You know, my sister's into 3D printing this.
I want to get into it too.
garbage. Don't get into
But
it.
you said, that,
I
you
got
keep
a-
just
I got a
making,
couple printers.
keep making stuff, and then all of a sudden it just trash in your house.
Yeah, I have a whole
yeah.
drawer of plastic crap.
little stuff you make, and you're like, okay, that's it.
My sons, because my sister will make their nephews 3D print, and they love it. But it is piles
Oh,
of,
yeah.
of snakes and dragons, and then Tommy's got a full dinosaur logo that hanging above his bedroom with like Tommy underneath, and you could 3D print anything.
Yeah, it's too much.
They you know the swords that you go
Yeah,
and they come
you can
out.
make those.
Yeah, you 3D print those swords and all like ridiculous things like frames for pictures that light up from the background.
Oh, you can
Just
do anything.
Yeah. It's
I made a part for the door on our balcony.
Yeah,
I needed a washer. I measured it. I scanned it. I
That's
just
pretty cool.
Printed one.
That's pretty cool, actually.
Yeah, it worked.
But then you end up printing piles of your own garbage.
Well, you
Yeah.
You make mistakes, then you're alone, and
Yeah.
you're just there, and then you're like, oh my god, I'm a one-man Chinese garbage factory.
You know what it's like? It's like down in Miami, anybody who had mango trees
Yeah.
would always try to give us
Yeah,
mangoes.
my Aunt Lori right now. She
Trash
just
can
cut
of
hers down.
mangoes.
yeah, trash bags of mangoes. Like, hey, would you like a trash bag
They're
of
homegrown
mangoes?
from my backyard.
Yeah,
Yeah,
like, I can't
yeah.
eat a trash bag of mangoes. There's 89
Well, it'd
mangoes
give you
here.
diarrhea.
Yeah, it was not
Give
even
you
that.
that.
Like, most of them, I'll eat a couple mangoes maybe, but most of them will rot.
Yeah.
You're giving me rotten
The
garbage.
ones from Publix are better.
I also don't like mango.
I
I'm
don't
just
like.
gonna say
Yeah,
it.
I'm not a big fan either.
I do not like the flavor, artificial or regular,
Yeah,
or
I'm the
real,
same
whatever.
way.
I'm not a mango guy.
Same
mango
way.
White Claw. I'm sorry, you're not it.
I'm the same way.
There's
Yeah.
a problem with having fruit trees is that it produces too much, and it's not producing.
And passion fruit, you're dumb too.
Yeah.
I hate you, passion fruit.
I'm not a guava guy either. Guava
I don't
for
like
me.
it. Guava in a pastry only.
That's it. Yes.
Yeah, guava in a
the
Latin
guava
pastry.
cream
Yeah.
cheese or the
Yeah.
Spanish ones are fried up.
But
Yeah.
I don't want the fruit.
you got a fruit tree and you keep telling yourself, I wish there was a system where I could just go buy a couple of these every once in a while when I want it for cheap.
And I wouldn't have to water it. I wouldn't have to maintain it.
And then it dawns on you, what have you done? Anyway.
All right, so we have this monstrosity on the couch.
All right.
We don't know what it is. Cadillac Pat always brings in something to show us.
I bring in the heat. All right.
It's on camera. Here we go. What is it?
It's a giant.
What the F is that? Did you 3D print that?
I think
It's my giant.
Did you 3D print that?
No, I paid for this.
Did you buy that from a GameStop?
I bought it. I bought it on Facebook a couple years ago.
We didn't even talk. It's a giant Nintendo 64.
It's as big as I am.
Regular Nintendo Mario 3.
It's a Mario 3 Nintendo cartridge that's as large as I am, basically.
It's like 2 foot by 2 foot.
Yeah.
It's heavy. It's like 10 pounds at least.
So where did you get this?
I'd be looking.
I'd be looking.
Well, you looked for this specifically?
I look
You were
for
like,
cool
you know
trash.
what I want? I want an oversized Nintendo cartridge.
Where do you even put this? At the corner of your house?
It goes into my area with my Pac-Man and my claw machine.
All right. Okay.
Goes
So
into my
this
game
is
room.
more along the lines of, now this is the one that's really, let me just tell you,
Go ahead.
this is the one that's really going to stump Tom, because this one is just pure decoration. And there's nothing that angers Tom more than just pure decoration.
Yeah,
There's no
absolutely.
function in this whatsoever,
No.
right?
The pinball machine, I'm now fully back
he's
into.
on
I'm
board
like,
with
I'm
pinball.
glad you have
Yeah.
that because
Yeah,
I'm
yeah.
like, that's a art
It's an
piece.
investment.
Yeah.
It's an art piece. It's also, it does
Holds
hold its
it
value.
holds its
You can
value.
resell that.
The Godzilla machine
It brings an emotion of fun.
Yeah,
Although
yeah.
this does bring some nostalgia.
That's
if I saw
for
this,
sure, for sure.
When if I walked in your house of
Can
garbage.
I say something?
Yeah.
Super Mario 3 is my favorite.
It is.
I got
That's
goosebumps.
why.
I got
That's
goosebumps
why I got
saying
it. It's the
my
best.
favorite one.
It is the best.
Well, because around our demographic, we remember when the movie came out. What was it called? The isn't that The Wizard or whatever?
I think it is the Wizard.
Yes,
where
with the Power Glove.
with the Power Glove, where Super Mario 3 was
Fred
debuted.
Savage.
Yes.
Fred Savage.
Fred Savage
And
and
the autistic
yeah,
child.
it's basically video game Rain Man.
Yeah,
Yes,
it is.
it is.
Super Mario 3, definitely Super Mario 3.
It's just video game Rain Man.
Yeah,
with-
Game Man. They should just go to Game.
Yeah.
Rain Man, Game Man.
Because it's the same characters as Tom Cruise and I forgot Rain Man. The what's that guy?
Dustin Hoffman.
Dustin Hoffman.
Although I would say that I think Fred Savage better than Tom Cruise.
yeah.
Yeah.
Because older
Less
gambling
weird.
Rain Man, I'm like, ugh.
But both-
Yeah,
Both-
but when as a
both-
kid.
Both people in old age, Tom Cruise, Fred Savage, weirdos.
All right.
Fred
Savage
Savage,
is weird.
oh, he's grabby. He's grabbing every woman.
I used to
And
like
Tom
him.
Cruise, extra weird.
I used to like him too.
Fred?
Yeah.
Yeah. Ben's the one you want to root for. You don't want to root for Fred.
Well, who's he grabbing?
On a set, apparently on a movie set, he was going wild. He's a savage.
Just grab
He was a savage.
Grab crazy. you never thought someone would get mad? You're just
No.
like, I'm gonna grab it.
Now, do we want to guess at what
The
he
cost.
paid?
Oh
Okay.
man, don't guess. Go ahead. It's embarrassing.
Well,
Is
that
this,
tells me
is
it's
this
a
the
lot.
type of number that would is this why you're single? Are you single?
It's-
We didn't even dip into that. Are you single?
Maybe I'm not.
What? Oh my God! You finally went gay.
I knew
You
it.
did, didn't
Because
you?
that's the only one.
That's a lucky man. That's a lucky
Gay
man.
people like fun at
Yeah,
the beginning,
they do.
but
They
even
do.
but even them, they'll get tired of this giant.
You
piece of
could be
trash.
living a life or a solid 6 months of nothing but just gay sex and video games. But you got to find the right guy.
Now, before you tell us what this costs, Daniel, can you go on
Yeah, I
Facebook
can do whatever
and
you
go
want.
to Facebook Marketplace
Yeah.
and type in what do you usually search for when you look for stuff like 90s
I don't really.
memorabilia?
No, I don't really ever really honestly even look. Some I just kind of stumble across it, or I think somebody sent me the link to this actually.
Okay, so you're not on the search because
No, not really. I mean,
that's
like
weird to me because when you get into something like I recently been into planting palm trees in my yard.
Yeah.
And I find myself when if I have nothing to do at
You
that
search?
moment, I'll just go on Facebook Marketplace and put in palm trees and see if anybody puts
yeah,
up
I mean,
a
I guess
find.
I don't really necessarily, but I like going to places because a lot of my stuff that I like is pop culture, 90s, 80s, 2000s. So you find it at thrift stores and antique stores. So I like going to places like this watch. Oh, look at this watch. I know Daniel will know what this is. Can you see this? Can you see this on the
Is
camera?
that the robot watch?
It
I had
is.
that. I had that watch.
I've always wanted this watch.
You
as
never
a
had
kid.
one of those as a kid?
No.
My grandmother got me one, and the red one is the popular one.
Hold on. So it's a watch. There's a
Watch.
It turns
Watch it.
into
Watch
a
it. Hold on.
transformer.
Yeah, watch it.
Okay. So
Its arms come out,
Yeah.
and then its little head turns, and then see, it's a little, and you can play with him. He's like a little, like a robot man.
Transformer
He's
guy.
also
All
a
right,
watch.
all right.
But
But
I
I
had
just-
this watch. I
gives you
had this
joy.
watch as a 9-year-old boy. I had that watch
I always wanted this watch.
as a 9 or 10-year-old boy. That was my watch that my grandmother put in my stocking.
Is
Came
it-
from China. Mine was silver.
I mean, I like giant things and I like miniature things. For some reason, like
So you like me?
yeah, that's why I'm friends with you.
Yeah,
you
that's
know?
why we're buddies.
I like this. This to me, this is
That's
cool.
what children like. You know what I'm saying?
I like big things and little things.
I like
extreme.
I like regular sized human beings.
I like.
If it's too big or too small, I'm
It's-
like, what the hell is
It's
that?
like
a toy?
if I only had other giant things that I brought with me today, maybe.
So,
Oh,
no,
he's got a bit. Oh my God, he's doing a
He's
bit.
got a giant gun.
Oh, yeah. Oh my God. Oh, his fingers are too small to pull the giant trigger. Saved by the giant bullet. Where did he go?
A giant gun, a cannon.
What if we go in the lobby? He's sitting on a giant toilet.
pooping in on the floor? You think it has no floor? What the hell? All right, this sounds.
It's too big for the camera. It's a giant. Now that is as big as me. It is a Rice Krispie box as large as I am.
All right, okay,
Yes,
it's all
I,
What the
coming
hell's
together
wrong
now.
with you?
I like giant things.
Okay, at first.
How did you get that in without us seeing it?
I'm very sneaky.
You are sneaky.
I'm very sneaky.
No wonder you're single. That is terrifying that you could get that in here without us seeing it.
How
How big is that? 4 foot tall?
Okay.
Probably about
3 foot, 3.5 feet.
Okay,
If
so-
only I had other giant things that I happen to brought
Oh
with me.
my God.
all right.
This is crazy.
Now I totally understand why he's single, because this is all. I thought it was
You
all
can't
like.
put, like, how can you be a woman living in his house? You got a giant Oh my God. It's a ginormous Pepsi bottle or Pepsi can.
Yeah, this is good too.
Now,
So
with
you-
the handle, is that a cooler?
Yeah.
Oh, that'll keep nothing cold. That is,
A giant
But it's
Pepsi
worth
can
every
cooler.
penny.
do you love
looks
it?
cool.
You love it, don't you?
Oh my God, yes.
How much? Okay, how much money are we talking for all three of these items?
Um,
Well, don't tell us yet. Do you want to guess, Tom?
I was just seeing if there's anything 90s related on Facebook Marketplace
gotta
that
be.
we that if you said like 90s memorabilia or like 90s props. I don't know what.
man, is it only I had any more giant stuff that I brought to the show today?
This guy's he's completely out of control. And put the lobby in so you can see him running around. Yeah, he's way out of control today.
Did you hide it on the bathroom?
He's putting all of his
What is that?
craziness in the bathroom.
Uh,
Whoa! You made that one, did you?
Yeah.
Yeah.
so
Oh, you put Dwayne Wade on the back? My God.
hold on. So you have a giant.
Christmas tree air freshener.
Yeah, put it in the bathroom.
But why'd you do red instead of green?
No, I like the orange because I'm a fan of this is coconut.
Oh, coconut. Okay, I got you.
The fact that you made that is more
Yeah,
crazy
yeah.
because your other stuff, at least you're like, oh, this.
And it's not that he did. It's not that he just made an oversized a Christmas tree air freshener. It's a poorly made.
Yeah.
It's a poorly made Christmas
I made it
tree.
because I knew everybody would get the joke. That's why I just made it like
So
that.
now you're doing Carrot Top bits.
Yeah, I swear, I like Carrot Top.
like
I
this.
knew you were going to say
I
this.
love Carrot Top.
I've met him before, and I've seen his show
Yeah,
in
he's
Vegas.
great.
He's freaking hilarious.
Yeah, we
Like,
love that guy. He's friend of the show.
Yes,
He's
everybody bags on him. It just became a habit to bag on the guy for some reason. He's like you go see his show, it is funny. Like
That
he's
just came up on
topical.
Rogan like last week. There was a guest on Rogan that was talking about that and like defending Carrot Top and talking about how like the reason people crapped on him so early is all jealousy because he was one
Absolutely.
of the first people to ever do a residency and make just
That's true, yeah.
loads of money.
And we know we love Carrot Top, but I would have guessed that you like Carrot Top.
That's the way you dress.
And the
Carrot
fact
Top dresses like that.
you also have a bunch of oversized props that you brought in. It's like a ventriloquist liking Jeff Dunham.
Yeah.
No S. We knew right when you walked in with a bunch of dummies that you like Jeff Dunham.
So where do you get a 4 foot tall box of Rice Krispies?
See, again, you got to be looking. So that actually was from Publix on display. So you can go.
So you stole it from Publix.
Yeah, I just went to Publix and I go, yo, can I talk to the manager? I'm like, what's up with the giant boxes they have.
He's like, oh, you mean the trash we're throwing out?
Yeah, they put your name on it.
Trash, all right.
They just put my name on it and let me have it when they were done with
Hey
it.
guys, Carrot Top's taking all our trash.
He loves it. We knew he'd love
I think
it.
it's Carrot Top. Yeah, it looks just like him. Dresses the whole night. Red hair.
Yeah, he's buff.
I've been called Carrot Top many times. So.
What if we started calling you Carrot Top?
But I gotta be like Gallagher too. I gotta be Carrot Top too. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
You need to
Carrot
start
Top too.
the Botox to turn yourself
Oh,
into
and
a
the
lion.
tattooed eyeliner. Yeah, okay.
And then
And real buff, like
and-
real.
yeah.
Super buff.
But then veiny, he's skinny buff.
Yes, that's why he's
Well,
buff
you
because
need-
he's skinny
swole.
guy.
You need tiny legs and then buff, vein, penis arms.
Then you start wearing dresses for some reason.
Okay.
I saw him in a dress.
Yeah, I've seen him.
at Winter Park,
It's
and I was
freeing.
like,
Have you ever tried it?
yeah. No, I never thought of it, but it was just confusing. I was like, oh, okay, I don't care. You do whatever you want. It's just like, you know.
And he did
Whatever.
it again.
He just
Whatever, yeah.
enjoys
Hey,
that
he
dress.
did it again while I was bedridden with my hip surgery. He did another one of his videos where he's
He showed his
somewhere.
genitals.
No, it wasn't his genital. It was. He was. I forget what he's doing. He's leaning back in. Oh my God, that thing is so big it fell down. He was leaning back and he had he was excited.
All right. Okay.
And
yeah.
it like was poking out, and he's like, and he was pretending like his back was broken. So when he leaned back, the sign was making a creaking noise. So he was pretending like his back was making a creaking noise.
Okay.
But that wasn't the point of the video. The
It was
reason
the
he was doing the
show.
video is because he has a big one, and I'm convinced that he's obsessed with letting you know he has a big
That's
one.
100%
He gets
true.
off on it a little
He
bit.
did that at his show in Vegas. He like came out in like a robe, and then he took his robe off, and he had like a pair of like spandex tights on.
Yeah.
And it's like he's waving at the crowd, but it's like,
Yeah.
okay, we get it, bro. You gotta
Yeah,
honker.
he
you know?
is
Yeah.
given his ding dong less restrictions because it's a larger ding dong, so he allows it to move freely
Yeah,
more than we do with our acorn.
I remember thinking that when I was at
Right?
the show.
Or even an average man.
Just an average man
Yeah.
doesn't do that.
Yeah, yeah.
But he's up there.
Now let me defend him for a second.
Oh, I'm not saying it's bad. It's just it's not
Well,
something I would do, but
It it is considered bad showing your ding dong to strangers. I think so.
It
right?
can be bad.
That
yeah.
is a crime,
Yeah.
right?
You're supposed to keep that to yourself, I believe.
Like if I just walked outside in a dress and then I'm like, oh, let me bend over.
And my ding dong fell out.
Yeah.
Well-
and then I knew it was going to fall out and show a bunch of strangers. I think they arrest you after a while, right? They're
Well,
like,
But not
They
if
would
you have a
absolutely arrest
rainbow. Not if you have a rainbow bandana in your hair.
I've been arrested for having my ding dong out before.
I knew it. I wrote that down.
Are you're our new pedophile?
I wrote that down. Lex Carrot Top has been arrested for showing ding dong.
I got arrested in New Orleans on my birthday for taking a leak in the street, so they call
Oh,
it.
my God.
Indecent
No, it's called
exposure?
lewd conduct. So it's not because I didn't do it on purpose. I'm not pulling. Well, I mean, I'm not pulling my
Yeah,
ding
to
dong
show
out to
someone,
show.
yeah.
But so it's called lewd and lascivious is the one that's bad. I got arrested for lewd conduct, which means peeing in the street.
Did you tell them like there's no bathrooms here?
Oh,
What the hell?
they didn't care. They beat me up too. It was on my birthday.
All right, shut your mouth, Carrot Top. Get in the potty wagon.
Yeah, that was the cops in New Orleans, just like
All
that.
They're
right,
like, oh,
nothing
God,
to see
we
here.
can't fit his giant Super Marios in the back.
We got the Wendy's girl down here peeing in the street.
I've heard a lot of people get like arrested
Yeah,
or
oh,
citations for that. And I look at New Orleans and I'm like, so
It's a dump of a place. I mean,
You
I,
wouldn't
I
let me
was
pee
there.
off the back of your boat, or the wizard was. Remember, he's yelling at me one time we were doing something fishing or out, and he's like, "Don't pee off the back of the boat. There's children everywhere. You'll be a pedophile." And I got in my head. I didn't know what to do,
well,
so I had to pee in a cup and then dump it in the water.
they do this a lot in New Orleans because there's no bathrooms
Yeah, exactly.
anywhere.
There was nothing.
And then so it's like, so your solution as a city municipality is to just have the cops arrest people that have nowhere to go, either that or go in your pants. And also, do you want a bunch of people just peeing their pants? Like, it's bad for tourism. Put some GD bathrooms in the
Yeah,
place.
yeah.
Like, use some tax money to put some bathrooms there,
They
right?
had a big bank of like porta potties in one section, but I mean, it was kind of
Yeah,
far
it's
off.
packed.
Yeah, it's far off from where the drinks are, and they're pouring beer every corner.
Dude, when I went to the NoFX show, right, at the fairgrounds,
Yeah.
it looks like, because there are older bands, NoFX, Pennywise, they've done a lot of festivals and stuff.
Sure.
And they put a row of porta
It was
potties.
like a sea.
Dude,
You
was
had a
80.
picture of it. Yeah, it was tons.
I mean, so you couldn't even get it in a photo. There were so many, and it made sense because I was like, oh, these old punk rockers knew like a lot of porta potties. No one wants to be waiting in long lines
No.
or
Yeah.
peeing
You'll
in the
miss the
grass.
show.
Yeah, just put a bunch of porta potties.
Sure.
And so they solved the problem that was a problem if you have too little porta potties, because guess what? People will be peeing everywhere, and then no one wants that. So put in more bathrooms.
Do you remember a thing called the Crawfish Fest that was here like in 2008? It was at some guy's house on the back of a lake, and they did one in Baldwin in like 2010.
I do remember that.
It was
yeah.
an awesome thing, but they got too big for themselves. It used to be at a guy's house, and it was like they had porta potties, and then it got big enough where they brought it to Baldwin, right there on the lake where there's like a little little area where you can have like a festival kind of thing.
Yeah.
And all you did was wait in line for drinks and then wait in line for the bathroom because they had too many people show up and not enough bathrooms.
We got an emergency here, Facebook Marketplace right now. I found a 90s.
Oh my God! How much is that?
$300. I'll go halfsies on it. It's a inflatable Spuds McKenzie from the 90s.
You
the
know
terrier.
you know who's a big Spuds McKenzie
I
man?
love Spuds McKenzie. You know I'm a terrier guy.
Oh,
don't
I
mean to
know.
scream. Am I
What are you
screaming
gonna
at
do with that?
I don't know. I want
How
it,
big
though.
is it? How big is it?
Dude, it's life size.
Andrea doesn't want that in her house.
She might because it's a terrier. She
Yeah.
loves the terriers.
Yeah, but it's a big Spuds McKenzie.
This is
inflatable.
it's a lamp. It's an original
You know who's-
Spuds lamp with a few signs of wear on the paint. Spuds was the mascot for Anheuser-Busch. This one's original from 1989.
Dang, you know who's a big Spuds McKenzie guy, and I bought him gifts.
Who's that?
Super Chef Jason Campbell.
Oh, no way.
He's big, and I bought him. He has all kinds of swag, and he has two or three bull terriers as well.
I'm trying to put this up so people can see how good this is. It is fantastic.
Dang,
It's a beautiful Spuds. There he is.
let's offer him
There he is.
200.
Look at that. Look at the Spuds. Look at this beautiful Spuds McKenzie lamp.
Domestic beer marketing in the 90s was an odd game if you were
Oh my
looking at it.
God, yeah.
How
Because
did they?
you're like,
He was the original party
And
animal,
then-
and as a young boy, I remember seeing it and being like, one day I will. Maybe it made. Do you think it shaped me into loving pee-pee dogs? I used to love Spuds McKenzie, and
Me
as a
too.
young boy, I would look at Spuds McKenzie and go, one day, as a man, as an older man, I will drink Bud Light, and I will own a dog that drinks Bud Light with me, and we will party like Spuds McKenzie.
Yeah, it makes
I
sense.
thought that.
Sure.
But think about like in the 90s when they were the beer marketing wars were going on, and the Super Bowl and the Budweiser versus Miller and stuff.
Sure.
And all the marketing, none of it had anything to do with the
No.
taste of the beer or what the ingredients went in. It
Yeah.
was like that is irrelevant. Like he's like, we're gonna make it as cheap as possible. There's no changing that. So we're just gonna put horses and frogs and Spuds McKenzie and like
Yeah.
a bunch of nonsense that has nothing to do with the product itself. And that's where they went full steam into.
And they won.
But really,
It
but
worked.
did they?
Yeah, it worked because it works again now. Like if they brought it back, and they're able to do
I don't
that
think it works
sometimes.
now.
I think if they bring it back,
So,
people
yeah,
buy
if they
it.
brought Spuds McKenzie back, I feel
It
like
would
it
work.
would work.
It would
But
work.
you
I
know
mean, it
what
still works now. I mean,
beer tastes like. So it's like, don't you want to market the
not about the
taste
beer.
of the?
No.
Well, you know,
I know
it's
it's switching to calories.
It's never been
and
about the beer.
they've gone to calories and they got ingredients because craft beer kind of took hold for a
yeah.
while. If you look on Bud Light, it says like ingredients: rice, water.
yeah, it's like 5 ingredients.
It
or
says
something,
that,
yeah.
but rice is the biggest ingredient, which is like terrible if you're into beer or whatever. But
rice.
Yeah, it says
Yeah, it
rice,
does say
grains,
rice.
barley, and hops. That's all it says on the packaging too.
Not my Bud Light. Oh, no rice in my Bud Light.
So what's the next large thing you want to buy?
I get into things. I gotta find. I had to stumble across it. That Spuds McKenzie. If it's that big, that's not bad.
Can I throw something out there?
Yeah, fire away.
At the Fashion Square Mall, which is in walking distance of our studio here in Baldwin Park.
Absolutely.
Wow.
There is an area that is a play place area for kids at the mall.
The one that it's been there. No, they Okay.
It's been there, but they're tearing it out.
Yeah, what's in there?
And it is all giant cast resin, life-size Honey, I Shrunk the Kids big breakfast foods.
It's okay.
There's a giant waffle. There's a giant pancake. There's a bacon slice.
Where was this at? Because that's my home mall from
Yeah,
years.
I don't know. But it's one of these malls they've got, and because I went in there, they're pulling it out.
Wow.
You need to get a giant waffle or a giant pancake for your house.
That's put it in the backyard.
Yeah.
Yeah, oh, you know what else I saw? We recently found out that Bubbaloo's is closing down.
That's right.
Wow.
And And so me and my family like Bubba's. we
Been going there for years.
I started going there when I moved up here to college.
And your family goes there just
the
for
one by
smoky.
me. The one by me.
His family just goes there for smoky T-shirts.
No, that's
the
it.
Waterford Lakes one.
But now it's a kids college bar now.
Yeah. And so and then the Altamont one is
done.
closing down, and inside they're auctioning off all the
pig stuff.
bric-a-brac.
Yeah.
And then I saw they had a big wooden Indian.
Oh, you should get that.
Yeah, but it was like $290.
No, don't think about the money. Get it. Just get it.
I don't want a big wooden Indian.
Okay. You know Hot Dog Heaven right here?
Yeah,
I do.
yeah.
I used to know the owner. I do know the owner, the old owner. I know him. He has a
Mr. Dog.
Hold on. Do you know Mr. Dog or you know the new guy that bought
No, I know
it?
the older guy. His name's Mike.
The new guy that bought it, Akbad. He's
He's
not
got-
good, but not as good as Mr. Dog.
Mike has a giant fiberglass Chicago hot dog that he used to put on the top of like a 78 Chevette. He would drive around town.
Let's get it.
And I've been to his house. He lives in Avalon.
Why don't you buy it and put it on your Cadillac?
I told him it's mine. I've asked him. He knows.
Put it on your Cadillac
A
and drive
giant
around with it.
I would.
Fiberglass hot dog.
I would. But he won't sell it because he loves it because it's pretty dope.
He doesn't love it. He
Well,
doesn't love it. He doesn't own Hot Dog Heaven anymore.
I know, and that's why I keep. When I see him next time I see him, I'm going to tell him I want it again
Tell
because
him,
I haven't seen him.
Use my logic and say you don't even own Hot Dog
Yes,
Heaven anymore.
yes.
Sell it and let it go to somebody that'll actually use it and cherish it.
Aren't you embarrassed
him that.
to drive around with a big fiberglass hot dog on your
Oh,
car?
your car? I don't know.
Because
Are you asking
Now
me or
when you,
Pat?
yeah,
Are you asking me or Pat?
Oh, I'm just throwing it out
I have
there.
bullhorns in the front of my car.
Yeah.
Are they detachable? Or?
Yeah, I take them off.
Okay,
Yeah.
Because when I drove around Seth's Hellcat with the tampon
You
car,
liked it.
I did not like
You
it.
liked it. You pick your pubes. How could you not like it?
Well, that's hidden, but I thought they put it out there.
Yeah, but the Hellcat is the bicked pubes of
No,
automobiles.
Yeah, but everybody's looking at it. I'm just like, I'm sorry. I'm like,
Yeah,
I felt like
I mean,
saying
it
I'm
is
But
sorry.
it's kind of
loud.
douchey. I mean, people could say that about my car too in a second, but to me, that's a little more douchey than my version.
This look at as fun, right? Because it's goofy. Like
I like goof.
You're
I
driving
like,
around the Wienermobile,
Yeah.
and people, it
yeah.
brings a smile to
like my
somebody.
old Cadillac with horns in the front. It's not very. It's a nice car, but it's an old junk giant car with horns in the front. He's got a $100,000 car that's so loud with a giant blood all over it. It's a little more.
I like yours
douchey.
better, actually, a little bit.
Thank you. I appreciate
Yeah,
that.
it's just like easier to,
Yeah,
get
easy.
into.
Yeah, exactly.
Easier to digest.
Yes.
There's no hate. It's just the Hellcat was never my style.
Same with me. Same with me.
I will bring up one thing that I
Get him.
have from my childhood, always wanted to own, and it goes under all this.
Yeah, yeah.
So
I don't even know if I know
Go.
this.
there was a skating rink in Miami called Hot Wheels, and Hot Wheels had a promotional vehicle, which was a giant skate. Like a replica skate that it was probably 10 foot tall. It was a car, and you drove around
Yeah.
inside of it. And it was the Hot Wheels car, and it was a giant skate. It drove around Miami. When I was a kid, I did think to myself, if I ever get rich, I'm going to buy the Hot Wheels skate and drive around.
Look at that, dude. Look at that. That's
And,
badass.
Is that it?
That's the newer
a
one.
version of it. That's
But
not
that's a
the-
car?
We had
Yeah.
a photo of the original. Here's the original one, or that's one of the original ones in
Oh,
Miami.
they're like drop tops too.
Yeah, they're convertible and they sit up a little bit.
Yeah,
It was the classic like potato skate that you get rent.
Yeah,
at
the
a
brown
skating
ones.
rink, and it was a giant car drove around. And I have always thought that if I got rich enough, I'll buy a Hot Wheels skate.
Badass.
Because it did bring me happiness every time we saw it driving around Miami. We're like, oh, look at that.
I went roller skating about a year ago, right here on Goldenrod and 408. At I forget the name of it, but I went there by myself. I went by myself
Don't
skating.
go skating by yourself.
I went by myself.
Yeah, don't do that.
I live right next to that place. I run.
And you know what he
that's
says?
why I run by
You know what
every
he
day.
says? He says his sons will be out riding their bikes. He's like, don't ride up to the skating ring. There are men that go up there and skate by themselves.
Yeah. And the skating rinks are interesting because they are frozen in the 90s.
Yeah, that's why I like them.
Can't raise prices.
The smell brings you back a
Do
second.
you like the smell?
Yeah.
You know what I realized about skating rinks? Because I was like, man, everybody loves them, and they're a cash cow.
Oh,
Like,
my
people
God.
will pay whatever.
Pizza, $3. You write it on a paper plate. Tape
Giant
it to the side.
What? And I may be wrong about this. This is my own theory, and usually my own theories are wrong. But my theory is, I'm like, why hasn't because it's not that expensive. Like, you just need a flat, some arcades, a flat. It's like the cost,
Sound system.
the barrier of entry. Is not
Yeah.
that-
You just get a big building. It's cold.
Yeah, like a big warehouse.
Yeah, exactly.
Essentially, it's just a big steel warehouse. And I was like, oh, giant corporations can't get into, they'll be sued crazy. Because
Sure.
as soon as you have a bunch of money, someone's going to fall and sue
Yeah,
you.
you're right. So their mom and pops don't know there's no money to take from them.
Yes, yeah. And even though you signed waiver, and people are like, oh, you signed a waiver, a lawyer will tell you waivers don't matter.
Yeah.
And so everybody would have to be wearing helmets, and it wouldn't be, but stuck in the 90s, like one-off mom and pop skate
That are just a few around.
They still exist.
Yeah.
And they are just frozen in time.
Yeah.
And it's one of the only things in our society that is frozen in time. It hasn't changed in 30, 40 years.
It is dying too. I mean,
Well,
when you
there's-
see one, it's frozen. But mine, I mean, I thought it was going to be forever. The one in DeLand, it's gone. And I thought it was going to be there forever.
Yeah, the two in South Florida and Fort Lauderdale, Rob, they're gone too.
Now, is it because the property became so
Too
valuable,
that they
yeah.
just sold off?
Yeah, where I'm talking is like the one I know the one Cimarron by you, but the one by me is Goldenrod and 408. That area is not desirable right now. I mean, it's desirable, but it's not like people are knocking down those doors.
yeah.
So that building will stay there until it becomes redeveloped.
Yeah. So are you saying my area is not desirable? Because they're thriving. And they told me we'll be here for 25 years. No one cares. They like it. You're here right now. All right, we got to get out of here.
All right.
Where
you
can people
always
find
bring
you, Pat?
good stuff, man.
Thank you. Come see me at the Brass Tap, Waterford Lakes. I'm there Wednesday through Saturday night, the only Brass Tap in Orlando, Florida. Come see me. Tell me you heard me on the show, please.
There you go.
Yeah.
Treasures.
Give them a favor.
Treasure's still there.
Okay.
2 treasures still hidden in the back of Brass Tap. 27 American dollars ready for the taking.
If we gave Pat like not a ton of money, but a sizable amount of
To
like,
hide.
to
Oh, my
hide
God, yeah.
and do like kind of like that David Blaine, like the big quest.
Yeah, but he's
like,
giving no hints to where to find it.
No, I would make it more, but those ones are for me. The ones that I've got that are on Woodbury Road, there's 3 of them on Woodbury Road, 1 behind Brass Tap,
He's
1 in
taking
front of
his
Brass
wish
Tap.
back.
Those are for me.
Yes, for me.
I don't care. I like that I get to see them every time I drive by. I'm like, oh, there's my little thing right there. There it is.
It's my wish. I'll take it
Yeah,
back.
exactly.
Goonies.
Exactly.
All right,
Yep,
we're going to
yep.
get out
All
of
right.
here.
See ya.
All right, we'll see you Monday.
Bye, guys.
Welcome back to A Corporate Time. Let's do some voicemail.
Yes, sir. Voicemail messages, and we love it when you call the show. In fact, I got charged for our vanity line yesterday. We have
All right.
we have 1-844-TOMNDAN. Just dial that on your phone. You'll get this. You'll go to like our database. It's like, hi, it's Tom and Dan. Leave a message. You can leave a message. You can ask a question. You can pretty much anything.
Bring up
you
a
want.
topic that you want us to talk about.
Yeah. I wrote this down. We now have a personal concierge for our vanity number, and he wrote me a personal letter as of this morning. And his name, he uses his full name every time he writes me.
Okay.
So I wrote back to him, hi, nice to meet you. Glad to have you on board.
Is this a real person
It's
or
a real,
bot?
it's a real person.
Okay.
And the reason I know it's a real person is because he does use his real name, all 4 words of it, every single time he writes me back.
Okay.
And his name is John Mark Christopher with a C, no H, Ponsaran. John Mark Christopher Ponsaran.
Is this an Indian call center?
No, this is he looks to be very Nordic.
Okay.
And his name is John Mark Christopher, John Mark Christopher Ponsaran.
All right.
So when I write back to him, I'm like,
Is
hey,
this a service that we pay for?
Yeah, we pay for. I pay
Okay.
a lot of money. You know me. I use our credit cards. I do.
What is
I subscribe to
What are-
every industry standard AI subscription service that you could subscribe to. I've got Apple Music. I've got Tidal. I've got Spotify.
Well, what can this concierge do for us?
I don't know yet. I'm just.
I mean,
in
what
the-
is he gonna
I
do?
just started talking to him. He said I'm supposed to set up a meeting with him. So I wrote him. I said, glad to have you. Well, he's like, I'm glad to be your new guy. And then he asked me, have you had an account manager before? And I said, no, I have not, John Mark Christopher Ponsaran.
What is he managing? You know,
Our account. Like, this is a new thing. Whenever you subscribe to something,
so you get a vanity, but
some person or bot, but I believe this is a real person, will write you and be like, hey, I'm your new guy. If you have any questions, let me walk you through it. It's because everything is service now. It's an even playing field with technology, right?
So-
Everything is service now.
But what kind of service can a vanity number like you get the
He'll
vanity
explain
number
everything
and it
for
works.
me. It's for people that don't know what they're doing, right? Remember when our vanity number was broken and Tracy was using it to text and spam our listeners medical marijuana deals, and then we lost our number?
Oh, wait, this is not the texting service.
No.
This is just the number.
This is just the number. But my point is that this guy's job is for people that don't know what they're doing. He's a personal help desk. That's what he is.
So, but it would just be if it just stopped working.
No.
Because it's either it works or it doesn't.
No.
What else is there?
No. Why do you look at everything at black and white?
No. I mean,
No. But why can't you open your mind up a little bit? You don't think for a second that I would have why isn't this feature not working? Explain this feature. How do I forward calls? How do I line up this number? How do I set my voicemail inbox? How do I make the vanity number appear when people are calling? How do I change my caller ID? There are multiple, if not millions, of questions using the software. We've just been assigned a guy. It's not like, hey, this isn't working. John, Mark, Christopher, Ponsaran.
I just, my whole thing is that you get a vanity number and then it's like, all right, it works. And then
this is for like our answering service. Like we have it rings 3 times before it picks up. Then it plays a message. Then it stores all of our messages. Then it sends me an email saying we have a message. Then it sends me a transcript of the message that we got from the listener.
Okay, the whole service.
Yeah, the whole service.
All right,
it's like, that's what you have. But anyway, I thought that was interesting that he used his full name. Every correspondence, full name. Nothing without a full name. All right, let's get some voicemails. If you'd like to leave us one, we would love to have it. And you can be used on a future show like this one, right?
Hold on. How expensive is this vanity number?
It's not that expensive. I think we paid one-time cost was like $200 for the number one time.
Yeah.
And then I think we pay $80 a month for the service. And we have for, I don't know, the last 7 years or something.
Yeah. I guess $80 a month is a lot.
Well, I mean, it's
like a water bill.
I mean, you can get rid of it if you want to, but it does house all of our voicemails. We can get rid of all of those. We'll no longer have a vanity number in use.
Well, is there something cheaper?
And there'll be no need to have any of these phone lines, so we can cancel the spectrum too. So, I mean, if that's the road you want to go down, I'm all for it. It's just going to make talking to each other a lot harder.
No, but can we? Is there some sort of voicemail that's cheaper than $80 a month?
There might be, but guess what? I'm not looking into it. This is the one we're doing.
Well, someone look into it.
Yeah. You could get one.
$80 a month.
Get one of your pain pill addicted handyman to look into it. But I'm not looking into it.
That's a lot.
Yeah, it is a lot.
We've been paying that for 7 years.
Yeah, and I bought $300 worth of pizza, and it was delicious. Black Magic pizza, way better than Papa John's. All right, let's try this one right here. This is from Keyed Up BDM.
Hey, what's up? It's Keyed Up BDM. Me and my wife were talking the other day about how you guys were changing the show and like you were going to come up with a different name and you were just going to say Tom and Dan, whatever. She mentioned a really good idea. Can't take credit for it. She's the one that told me. Before you had it as a corporate time, so ACT, but maybe if you changed it to a censored time, you might get more hits. I don't know. And then you can keep the ACT per se, and just call it a censored time. Just my 2 cents. Have a great day, guys.
Do you think someone wants to listen to a censored time? They're like, oh, look, there's a podcast.
He's trying to help. Don't attack him. Man, you're in a bad mood today. You're attacking people. You are. You're in your...
Well, think about the suggestions.
We got to save money. Look, he's just calling in to try and help out. I think we did confuse everybody when we said we were going to try and change our branding and make it a little more cohesive. I think that they think we're changing it all together instead of just kind of streamlining everything into Tom and Dan. I think we did a poor job of explaining that. I think we did.
Well, yeah, my whole point is that when you see a corporate time name as a podcast, you may be confused about what we're talking about, that it's just a comedy show with 2 dudes that live in Central Florida.
So a censored time may be even more confusing.
And worse than even a corporate time, because at least a corporate time is like, oh, maybe it's something about business that I do want to listen to. Censored, I feel like nobody wants to listen to censored content. And you don't want to put that out.
We say that, but I know that ACT gets a ton of downloads and a ton of people like it because it's spicy, but without
But that's what we
regular curse words.
But that's why podcasts like Google Podcasts and Apple Podcasts have a censored and uncensored button you click.
Sure.
And so then you can, if you want something that doesn't have curse words, you can organize. You just click the button.
I understand that. I'm just saying that they like it uncensored because they can listen to it and just leave it on and not have to worry about making the decision of choosing censored, uncensored. I got kids I got to pick up in the bus loop. I'd rather just put something on and let it roll. So I think that's why they like ACT. They don't have to, there's no decision fatigue at all.
No, I agree. And then there is a positive element of there's no curse
but I don't
words or
seek out out censored content.
And you definitely wouldn't see a censored time and click on it and be like, oh, this is something that I want. I would, for the most part.
Maybe out of curiosity, maybe.
Yeah. Anyway, horrible idea.
Okay, there you go. Thanks for calling. Appreciate you. He's in there. Yeah. He says.
Didn't you think about it?
This is what he said. He said, "I'm not feeling the BDM appreciation. Oh, that starts in April. Don't take it personally.
Well, I appreciate you being a BDM. I'm just saying your idea was horrible.
This is what he does with his wife. He goes home and starts kicking the cat around. It's fine.
No, just hey, let me present you an idea. I'm just telling you the truth. What, you want me to lie to you? Want me to blow smoke up your ass?
You do it to everybody else. Just do it to Keita up.
No, only to people that I need their
money
business
or a favor.
Yeah. I'm doing it just for a BDM membership.
Let's try this one. He's a 1095er. Pretty sure.
Okay, well, you know what? I mean, I'll think
He's
about
it. He's coming around.
Maybe that
Let
is
him
something.
Sleep on it. Let him sleep on it. Let's try this one right here.
Sorry about the Rolling Stones there on the radio.
Can I say something? I hate the Rolling Stones.
I never was a fan.
No.
I guess
Wild Horses. I think that was Wild Horses in the background. They're not good.
I hear the songs and I'm like, okay,
but
I'm never like seeking out the Rolling Stones.
No.
It's a different generation, But if you're, I guess a boomer age, 60s, that's what if you're in your 60s.
This guy's my age.
50s, 60s.
God, turn that off.
Now, how old is he?
He's got to be my age. This is what is his name? Alex.
Okay.
Listener came in here, gave me the baseball. He calls in with a deep voice. He's got to be my age, or maybe a little younger. He might be closer to your age.
And he's into the Rolling Stones. Like that's a different.
I don't believe that.
Yeah, you grew up if he's my age, you grew up in the '90s.
Right? You should put on
90s.
some Lit and some Smash Mouth. He continues.
Overpowering. You guys had Casey and Jeff Howell on recently or in the future. I don't know when anything airs from when it's recorded. And you guys were talking about Tibby's New Orleans restaurant. I might have called in and told you guys this years ago, but new listeners, right? So I used to enjoy going to Tibby's. It was a great spot after work to get an ice-cold beer and some, like, jambalaya or red beans and rice. And my buddy Smokey from SBK Live worked there. So I'd go see.
Oh, I remember that dude. He moved to Colorado to do like weed stuff, and then he came back.
Yeah, well, last time we saw him, he worked at
Wild Wild West.
Wild Wild West.
Yeah.
But one of the best parts about Tibby's was in the afternoon, like happy hour-ish time, get a nice good buzz on at the bar. Make sure you park right in front of Tibby's, but to the left, because there was a karate studio there. And myself and my wife and my friends, we would stand around drunkenly after happy hour at Tibby's and watch these young boys and girls beat the S out of each other with the foam sticks or just their hands and fists. And it was a fantastic way to end a happy hour watching children fight. I just wanted to share that with you guys.
I don't think that's like a proper dojo like Seth's, right? Like when you're like the kids are running around just wild like daycare and whacking each other in the head with foam.
Yeah. And any karate dojo that I've ever seen, I've never seen the physical, actual fighting each other.
I've never seen anybody.
They're all just, practicing
run in
form.
a circle.
Yeah, and discipline and form. Yeah, like the physical fighting.
I would watch if they were physically fighting.
Yeah.
I watch fights.
Yeah. I'll watch kids fight.
My favorite thing now is watching pedophiles get beat up by MMA guys on Instagram.
Oh, is that a thing?
Yeah. They bait them just like Shaquille O'Neal.
You catch a predator, and then they get them over.
No, but
and
it's
they beat
MMA
them
guys. It's like, okay, they're the stereotypical fanny pack, tattooed, faux hawk, head tattoo MMA guy.
Yeah.
And he baits. It's normally, I'll just call it what I say. It's normally a Latin or a Middle Eastern man, very skinny, shows up to some parking lot to meet some 14-year-old girl. MMA guy gets out and just starts beating his head in.
Oh, then that's content for the internet?
Yeah, that's
okay.
the content, yeah.
All right.
Yeah, that's all I watch. That's all. I don't watch TV anymore. I just watch
I did not know
MMA
that was
pedophile
content.
Yeah. You haven't seen any of this?
And if you're the MMA guy, well, obviously you're doing it for content.
Yeah.
But is
Click
that it?
like smash that subscribe button like I'm smashing this pedophile's face.
Can you make money off of that?
I think you can. I think you can monetize it.
Yeah.
You can't let it get too bloody, I guess.
Is that illegal in any way? Like beating up
pedophiles?
a pedophile, just like
feel
vigilante
I feel like
justice?
it's the last person that you're allowed to just randomly beat up for no reason.
Can the pedophile I guess that you're not going to press
but
charges?
you're not
Yeah,
because you're going to be like, oh, this guy beat me up. And you're like, what were you doing there? Never mind. Right? Like, is that how it's going to go?
Well, is it none of your business? Did he just say that? And then the guy's
I was buying some towels for my guest bathroom.
Search that. What is it? MMA pedophile beat up?
Yeah,
MMA.
How did you know? MMA.
Put that on my TikTok algorithm.
Yeah, it's going around. It's huge. MMA pedophile beat up. It's huge.
All right, we will see you tomorrow.
Welcome back to A Corporate Time.
Let's do an email.
Yeah. This one is let's go to this one. This is from listener Rob. He says, Dan, I swear I saw you on my Xbox and 4 children. No, I swear you on my Xbox, and this doesn't make any sense, but I swear you on my Xbox and 4 children's souls, yes, my kids, not ones I have in the attic, that I will die with the info. But Ross, the comedian that you had on the Friday Free Show, is the Aloha Spirit promoter. Listening to the Friday Free Show, I thought I was losing it. I probably am. Ross is that guy, right? Anyways, love you. Hope you're healing well. And if you have any real pain pill, I have real pain pills, and I will overnight them to you, Rob.
I'm on them right now.
Just overnight them to us right now, okay?
Well,
just send them.
Anybody
can send me their pain pills. You know our P.O. box. I'm not going to give it out. Just do a little bit of legwork and make it happen.
141485 Orlando.
Yeah, Orlando. Put some coffee in there so the dogs won't smell it. I don't know. It works with weed.
So this guy thinks Ross
This
Paget.
is two different people, unless it's the same guy. Somebody hit me on Twitter and
they
said...
don't even sound the same, right?
Some guy hit me on Twitter, could have been the same guy, said that Ross Paget, local touring comedian, writer, has the show.
Yeah,
Good
was
Sauce
on
with
Jim
Ross and Joel.
Colbert.
Was on Jim Colbert's show before Jim Colbert fired him.
For 9 years.
yeah.
That was a long time.
I made that up. Jim didn't fire him, but it felt good to say that. It felt good to say that.
Well, he didn't fire him.
Anyway,
corporate radio.
Yeah, we're moving on. What do you do?
So
not the same guy, by the way. It's not. It's not the same guy. But
he doesn't even have the same, pardon my pun, spirit as Ross Paget.
I think it is his, though, zest for telling a tale. Like, I can see the similarity between the excitement. Like, Ross is a good presenter. He's a good storyteller. He's not going to just come in and mumble mouth you. He's going to present the story, right?
Yeah, a good broadcaster.
He's going to talk with his hands, and he's going to, explain it to you. And I guess Aloha Spirit, and I'm blanking on that guy's name. What was that guy's name?
I thought his name was Brett, right?
Brett, yes. Yeah. Aloha Spirit Brett. That guy, similar in the energy level, but... they look completely different. Brett is he looks to be 4 feet tall and bald with a mustache. Right? Like a little bald man with a mustache. And then Ross Paget is about 7 feet tall. And
looks like Shaggy from Scooby-Doo.
Looks like Shaggy from Scooby-Doo.
Anyway, I never would have even put them together as they even were close to similar. But
me neither.
When you listen, that's a weird thing. Like, it's the old theater of the mind.
Yeah.
Where you just listen to voices.
Does it help or hurt, or are we beyond that now?
Well, there's so much video out there, and when we put out like promo stuff on social, it's always video.
Do you remember when you were a young man, not in radio and certainly not in podcasting, and you're working your regular jobs, whether it be Champs or anything, and you're listening to the radio and you had no idea who the person you're listening to? Do you remember the persona you would give that person? Would you draw a person in your mind?
Yeah. I did this with the Monsters.
Well, what did I look like?
You don't want
You would never say that.
Not what I thought. I was like, oh my God, you're standing in a hole? I did the same thing that every other listener did. Everybody's the same.
Hasn't changed.
Yeah.
By the way, my bowling team for the Mo Bowlerama that's coming up very soon.
They're bullying you.
Yeah, they're bullying me already. They reached out to me while the day after my hip surgery. My bowling team, well, I won't name them. My bowling team, they're texting me. They're like, "Are we doing Austin Powers and you're Vern Troyer, or are you gonna be
Willy Wonka?
Yeah, are you gonna be an Oompa Loompa?" And I'm like, I literally almost died on the surgery table. I've done nothing to you, and you want me to be an Oompa Loompa?
Yeah.
Really? I'm a 50-year-old man.
I don't know what that is, but people feel comfortable.
They do.
Making fun of
You
how
would
short
never
you
do
are.
that to a person of trans. That's how I'm going to start saying it. You would never do that to a
what
black
about a
person.
fat person?
Fat person, black person, trans person. You'd never do that.
Or like, we're gonna be meet the clumps. You fat
Yeah, hey,
pedos.
you fat black person. We're going to be meet the clumps for the bowling tournament because you're fat and black. You can be that fat black guy from The Office.
Right.
No one would say you can be, Stanley. Hey, fat black guy, you're going to be Stanley from The Office just because you look like that.
Would you do it with a tall person? I think you would, but
You would do it with a tall
But
person.
being tall is considered a compliment,
It
right?
is, because it's like a sign of strength. Being small is a sign of weakness.
Yeah. Yes, it is odd that people feel super comfortable, and it's happened for 30
It'll
years.
never stop. I'll die. Somebody will
Yeah.
say it as I'm dying. They'll be like, like that.
Who died in this coffin?
Yeah.
It's tiny.
Yeah, they'll be like, Austin Powers coffin. Is that Vern Troyer?
Yeah. It'll never stop. You're right. It'll never
it's
stop.
unstoppable.
You will die.
Now, to a certain degree,
This
I
way.
do feel like it has made me tough.
Yeah.
Because
so at least there's that.
because you can't. It has happened at all. It has happened at all. There hasn't been a month that it hasn't happened.
Yeah, no,
Since
I know.
I've been born.
I've seen it in person, and it's always now. It's not really shocking to me. I laugh at it, and maybe that's the problem. I just laugh. At
Yeah,
it.
well, I do too now. I do. Imagine doing it.
I don't-
Imagine doing it.
Well, what are you gonna do? Get mad at it? You can't.
No, you can't.
It's never gonna stop.
The one that I bring up though is that and it hurts people because I find it like sort of similar, is teeth. You would never do that to somebody that has like rotten teeth, right?
Or that's bald. You didn't bring it up? I think
Bald maybe ekes into the territory.
bald in the
ekes
Venn diagram.
It ekes in. It ekes into height.
Because you're just like, well, I'm just stating an obvious.
Yeah.
You are bald.
And it's also there's nothing you can do about it. The teeth thing, I feel like it's almost like, well, there was something you could do about it. So
you
don't
did it
talk
to
about
yourself.
Yeah.
But you would never do it with any race or
No.
The way someone looks
No,
in any other
you
way.
wouldn't do it with somebody's nose.
No. Or, really a lot of other things. I guess
Albino. Would you do it with albino? I don't think you would.
Nah, maybe albino.
And you wouldn't
it's
do it
so
with little
rare.
person. You wouldn't do it with little person, but you'll
No.
do it with short person.
Yes,
you
yeah,
won't
yeah,
do
yeah.
it with little
No.
person because it's not allowed. Oh, don't say anything about Peter Dinklage. But Dan, you can go off on him.
Yeah. If you're close to a little
I'm
person.
too little. I'm too little. I'm so big that you are allowed to make fun of me, and I'm not small enough to be off limits.
Yeah, that's what it is. That you figured it out.
I did. Thank you for letting me talk that
But
out.
what's odd is that a little person, you like everybody's like, oh, yeah, the M word, the whole thing is like, oh, no, don't talk about it. But if you're acknowledging, let's really analyze this.
Yeah.
You're acknowledging like, hey, this could be disrespectful
To the person.
to the person, so let's not mention it, right?
Yes.
But if you're just a little bit taller than a little
2
person,
inches.
if you're 2 inches taller than a little person. See, yeah, it's funny. That's why
It is funny. It is funny. I'm laughing at it.
But it's weird because you're like, well, we can't say it with a little person.
No.
And so, like, you would think that would carry on to a person that's just a little bit bigger than a little person.
Yeah.
So you're acknowledging that height is a thing that you shouldn't bring up, but it's fine if they're not technically a little person.
And I think people have probably got in trouble with it because
But they are a little person, but not a little person. You know
right.
what I mean?
Yeah, smaller person.
they're
No, I'm a
smaller
smaller person.
Yeah,
I'm
yeah.
not a little person.
But you're not even that small.
Well, I'm
You know
fat.
what I'm saying?
Yeah.
No, but I'm saying, like, technically, you're not that much shorter than I am.
I think
you're not like
4'11", though, isn't 4'11".
yeah, but you're 5'2". You know,
I'm
I'm
telling you,
5'8".
there's a couple inches.
So there's a 6-inch difference between us, really, or
Right.
5'9", I guess. So the 7 inches is not is barely anything. It shouldn't be enough to bring up so much in your life.
I know, they love saying it.
I know why.
Maybe it's because I made it. Maybe because it doesn't bother me. Because it really doesn't.
Because we're making fun of it.
Yeah, maybe that's
that's why Napoleon killed the world. Like, that was the problem.
Well, wait and see what I do next. Wait and see what I do
right.
next. This one, let me do this. Can we do this?
Yeah.
I want to do it. Hi, Tom and Dan. I hope you're doing well. My name is Courtney. I'm the resident services coordinator at Altus Grand Lake Willis Apartments. Would love to work with you. We have a podcast studio in our luxury apartment building. We would love for you to come out and record an episode at our space. Dude, let's come out there. Poolside, luxury apartment.
Yeah, but it's not poolside. It's like,
I'll talk and we'll get it poolside. DJ, poolside.
I think can you bring your own recording equipment? Yeah. We can. Okay. Well, what's the point?
No,
then?
we're gonna use their stuff. We'll have it set it up by the pool. Let's do it.
We have a studio.
When did they start building apartment complexes with podcasting studios inside of them?
Well,
we gotta find something other than podcasting if that's the case. Too many podcasts.
Well, what is in the studio?
I saw it. They got a green screen wall.
Okay.
With cameras. They've got they've got like the flagrant kind of setup, or the the tiger belly setup where it's like two fancy chairs that look like fancy hit people should be in them.
Okay.
With a fancy table in the center with like a bunch of like crazy plants that kind of make you look fancy.
How much would it be? We need to talk to Ross because
Which Ross? We have a lot of Rosses.
Paget.
You're talking about super tall Ross or
Spirit of
okay.
Aloha Spirit
Aloha
Ross.
Ross.
Yeah, Aloha Ross. That's what I call it. About how much his whole setup.
Some people in the chat room have seen this downtown. Yeah.
Because, like, here at TND Media, we like to go cheap.
Oh, yeah. I don't know if you heard this earlier, right? Yeah, Tracy's already in the chat room. Yeah, Tracy's in the chat room saying, I can get you a vanity number and voicemails for way less than $70. The listeners
we'll get it!
No, we're not doing it. I'm not changing it. It's $70 until I die.
Well, if it could be cheaper, then why not?
Because it's too much legwork changing it. I'll never Then you change it. If you can figure out how to change it, I'll let you change it.
Okay, well, Tracy can change it.
She'll never figure it out. It's too complicated.
No,
it's not. It's not easy.
Anyway, but is a podcast studio to incentivize someone to live in an apartment complex to use a podcast studio?
If you had a
is that enough incentive? But if you had a podcast, most likely you've been figuring out how to record it. Like,
most podcasters don't have studios. We're very weird in that we have a studio. Most podcasters that I see, I'm in that group now on Facebook, and they show their setups all day, every day. They like just 60,000 people showing their setups all the time.
Yeah.
And it's usually just a laptop with like this guy. This little guy plugged
Zoom,
into it.
Yeah, that's how we recorded when we went to Gatorland. By the way, if you want to listen to our Gatorland podcast, subscribe to A Mediocre Time with Tom and Dan. That was last Friday's episode.
Go support Savannah. She tells great stories. She's awesome.
But
we had a great time.
All we needed is a Zoom recorder and 3 mics, which is cheap as hell. Like, the whole setup is under $200 now. Like, you can get it used.
Well, this one was a gift from our buddy SJ.
Yeah.
I looked it up new, and oddly, it's $159, which is funny. And but this is a great recorder. In fact, this is better than our H6 that we had. This one I'd used the first time we used it was the Savannah show, and this is a better recorder.
Yeah, but even like the other recorders that we've always done go-to shows with are now years old.
You pick them up used for like $60.
Yeah, probably cheaper, $50, and then you get some used cords and some used SM58 mics. That's what we use, like the same mics that like a band would use.
You don't even need that good of a mic.
Yeah, and I mean, and you get a high quality recording. So like you could do a podcast for under $200 of equipment, right? If you needed to.
It looks like they have better equipment though. So maybe that is the switch.
Well, then you get a studio and stuff. But the problem is with the studio is it's only for the video. You know what I'm saying? So
for the most part,
because that's
what this setup looks like.
Yeah,
it looks
like
a
video,
a very nice video setup.
And then so that does cost money because even now you could do it at your house, but you need to dedicate a room. And a lot of people don't have an extra room they could dedicate to a podcast studio, right?
True.
So that's where the expense is. But if you're not doing video, there's no need for a studio whatsoever nowadays.
Seems like a lot of people that pendulum swinging back too, where you're having people go back to like more audio only type podcast because
more people can listen to audio than they can watch video.
Absolutely.
By far, because there's so many more instances in your life that you're audio only. For instance, doing chores, walking your dog, exercise, all these situations. The
only problem with it is you can't promote it.
It's harder to promote.
Well, it's almost virtually impossible. People try to use these little things called slugs where you'll get like your, maybe your album artwork or a picture of you or maybe a picture of you interviewing a guest. And then you just put your audio and attach the audio to it. It's just like a YouTube file with a stagnant video in the background. Nobody watches those.
Yeah, no, I know.
Nobody does. And don't even kid yourself and think that people do. I mean, people barely... people read TikTok, and that's why I was explaining to some old man in the podcast group because he was like kind of arguing with me about like, well, video, you don't need to do video, and I was like, but if you want to like try to at least promote yourself, and it's difficult.
Social media, yeah.
You have to because people will look at a clip of your video. They're not watching it with the sound on. They're reading the caption of your video. They're reading your video podcast, which I know is a mind F. I get it. But that is what they're doing.
And social media is really the end-all, be-all for promotion, unless you have an insane amount of money and you could do traditional promotion. You know what I'm saying? Like, most people can't. So it's just like you got to put out clips. And what clip are you going to put out of just audio only?
If you had to pick traditional, I've been wanting to ask you this, not necessarily on air, but I mean, we're talking about it. What traditional advertising, if you had to try and invest in something right now, because we kick this around all the time, about how we think about it, and then we just push it to the back of our mind, right?
Personal endorsement. So if we had like $30,000,
Dan, come and like, do you mean some of our celebrity and the people that we've worked with and helped and that we're friends with?
I don't even know if they offer this, and I've never even heard. So it's just like if I ask Dan Cummins, like, hey, I'll pay you to tell your audience, like, hey, I listen to Tom and Dan. I like this podcast. You should check it out.
You might like it. Yeah.
That would work more, and that would be the best value I could think of for the money spent. Now, the problem is a lot of people won't do that. You know what I'm saying? So, like, even if someone, unless it was real.
Yeah.
Now, he may do it because a friend, you know what I'm saying? Like,
True.
But if I tried to pay him to do it, it'd be awkward because he's like, you know what I'm saying? Because I know he probably doesn't listen to our podcast.
He's too busy.
Yeah, he's too busy. You know what I'm saying? Like,
I mean, I would imagine every once in a while he'll check in, just like I do with his show. I mean, those of us that are in the field, it's hard to listen to podcasts.
You see clips of it on, but everybody's and maybe I'm ignorant to this, and everybody's a different person, so, whatever. But you're into what you're into, and if that is what you're into, most likely you have only a certain amount of stuff to listen to. Now, maybe you're just into variety, and you have a variety of stuff, but most likely you've fallen onto your handful of podcasts you listen to, and they put out episodes at least once a week, probably 3 times a week, some daily, you know what I'm saying? And then with that amount of content, again, you have walking your dog, you have exercising, you have driving, or whatever else time to listen to audio only.
Yeah. Cardio,
and
something like that.
There's only a certain amount of time. Now, drivers, we've noticed, can listen to a lot more because they maybe have a whole shift of 8 hours a day that they consume content. And those are the people that are your, like, ultra listeners because they've listened to every piece of content we've had. Think about our listeners. We've done this long enough where the people that listen to every single piece of content we put out are usually have a position in life in which they're like, I need X amount of hours a day of audio.
Yeah.
Because I have my earbuds
like
in.
I have a territory. I travel a lot. I need this amount.
The sharp square.
Yeah.
He, is basically working at a position where he listens to podcasts all day long while he works, right? So a lot of our Twitch viewers, right? They're at their desk or whatever. They just put it on and they listen to it while we record. You know what I'm saying? Like, so, but if you don't have that, then you got to break it off into, this, like me, I barely have time to listen to even the stuff I want to because my day's so broken up and stuff. I'll listen to it when I work out, do the dishes, or
that's probably when you're most consistent. I would say is when you're doing like a run or doing a workout.
Yeah,
right?
But even running though, I've switched over to music because I can't listen to people talk because it's diminishing returns. I'm like, God, I need some sort of motivation.
Books are doing that to me now. I'm reading a book right now, but I say air quotes, reading a book. I'm listening to a book, and it's starting to. I listen to so many meditations, and I listen to a lot of music most of the time on my headphones. So as I'm listening to this book is almost, my brain is almost trained to hear someone talking and think meditation, so I start getting sleepy.
No,
It's
really.
almost like I've screwed myself up. You see what I'm saying? Like, it's like I do so many audio meditations, and I'm so good at like circle breathing and getting myself to sleep. And I've worked really, really, really hard on being able to like calm myself down. I use it in here when things happen and I see myself getting triggered, and I'll do it, and I'm good at it.
Yeah.
I'm too good at it now because I'm reading this book, and this lady will start talking, and her cadence will get going, and I find myself like
You zone out, yeah.
Boom! It's like Pavlov. Boom! I'm out.
And I need, like, if I'm listening to an audiobook, I need to concentrate on what the person's saying so I get the value out of it. I can't just
15 seconds back. I can't understand what they're saying.
Because I find myself zoning out and thinking about work stuff or other things, and then I'm like, well, what am I doing? I'm just listening to a voice in the background
while I think about something.
because I'm not. What am I doing? What am I accomplishing with this? Like, I want to consume the book.
Yeah.
I want to hear what the person's saying and think about what they're saying. I don't need to zone out and start thinking my own thoughts, though I haven't listened to anything.
Yeah, but then there are some times when I'm listening to it, and it's almost like I have to be in the right frame of mind, where the book's coming into my ears, and I'm active in the conversation. Like the lady's asking me questions about something. It's like a self-help book. And then I'm answering it real time. And it's great. It's like a flow state. I'm like, well, this is great. But that is very few and far between.
Yeah, and that's what they're looking for, that you to interact with the content in your brain and think about it. Because that's how you retain it, and it's valuable to you.
It's hard to do.
Yeah. Anyway.
Did you see that Mike B cut his mustache off?
I did. And I got to say, looks more professional.
He does.
I immediately looked at it. I was like, I'll hire that guy.
I'd hire him. Yeah, we said it at the same time. Jinx, wow.
That mustache was really doing you harm.
He's a good-looking guy. My God, with a good haircut, he looks like a.
You see how many comments it got?
He looks like a jazz singer or something.
Got 100 comments because people are like, "Oh my God, why have you been doing this to yourself?" That's what they're saying, Mike. You got all those comments because people are like, "Oh my God, why?"
Get this disgusting mustache shackled to your legs and holding you down.
You look like this the whole time. You just took the bag off your head.
Such a good-looking man.
All right, we will see you tomorrow.